Hollywood Teaching, and I'm your host, Sorrel Holly. I am a third-year middle school ELA teacher in the beautiful city of Wilmington, Delaware. Welcome to episode 1 of Ask an Educator. Every week, I challenge educators in various stages of their career to answer a question with brutal honesty in order to help fellow educators or others thinking about entering the educational field. Here is this week's question. As first-year teachers, what tips would you give future first-year teachers? Let's take a look and see what some of our fellow educators have shared.
I'm Ms. Grant. I'm a first-year educator here at Great Oaks Charter School. I am in the 6 and 7 special education role. I have 3 tips that I would recommend for a first-year teacher. My first tip is to develop your own teaching style. Don't just copy what you see another teacher do. It may be okay for you to do that in the very beginning, but as you continue teaching over time, just develop your own style that kids know is yours. The next tip that I have is take your time and build relationships with students and staff. It's going to be very beneficial with being able to get buy-in in the classroom, and it's just going to feel good to have people that you can talk to on rough days. And my last tip is for you to control what you can control. Don't let things that are outside of your control force you to get upset or, do things that you wouldn't normally do. Give yourself grace. You can't do everything, and so I don't want anyone who is in a first year position to try to do everything. So yeah, that's what I have for first year education.
Hey, my name is Msfaulkner. I teach 6th grade and 8th grade social studies, and my 3 tips for a first year teacher are first, to build community. Community is everything. Work together with other teachers, lean on other teachers, talk to them. You guys are all kind of in that same boat, and there are so many people to learn from and who want to learn from you too. My second tip is to find an organizational style that works for you. I'm not the most organized, I'm not gonna lie, but I have found what works for me, what helps me plan, those kinds of things. It takes some trial and error, but find something that works for you. And third, and most importantly, is to find the joy. Find the joy in your day. Find the joy in what you do with your kids. Find their joy, what makes them joyful, and build on it. That's gonna lead you to the right direction.
Everybody, my name is Mr. B. I teach 6th grade science and 8th grade math. So 3 things that I would advise first year teachers. 1, it's okay to say no. You don't have to take on everything that somebody asks you to do. 2, I would highly suggest only teaching 1 grade or 1 subject. Like, don't teach either across grades or multiple subjects. And lastly, if you are in school, while trying to teach your first year, I would highly suggest being cognizant of what you agree to take on in the school, because your schoolwork and your work is gonna clash a lot, and sometimes it can be really frustrating.
Hi, I'm MsYuri, and these are my tips for first year teachers. As a first year teacher, you want to make sure that you're always asking for help, especially from your grade team teachers. You're working together with the same kids all year, so utilize each other. Another tip, utilize your kids. Even if you have all the activities planned, if you don't know your kids and what they like to do, it'll be really hard to get through each day's lesson. In a third thing, take care of yourself. Make sure you have a self-care regimen that you can do after each day or each week, just to make sure that you're keeping up with your own personal health. And that's all.
Good morning. My name is Samantha Lopez, and I am the current principal at Great Oaks. For those of you that are going to be starting this trajectory, I have to say that there are 3 key things that I would share. The first one is know your strengths. I think that coming into this position, sometimes you're expected to know everything. And a wise leader once said, you do not want to be the smartest person in the room. You cannot be the smartest person in the room. You identify what strengths are for yourself as well as for others, and then that's when you start the relationship building to identify how you're going to move forward strong with everyone's strengths aligned. That's my first tip. The second one, don't come in your first year trying to change everything. Teachers, staff, parents, students will resent it. You want to be able to understand and focus that time on truly building relationships. And I know that I keep stressing that, but that's going to be important. Start with identifying who is who and what is what. What are the needs? What are the goals? And then what is it that we need to do as a school, as a team, as a one voice to move forward to create change that is appropriate to all the stakeholders of that organization. And I would say the third thing for me is know the politics around you. I think that is something that they don't teach us in schools. Everything is connected to something. There are agendas to everything. What are those agendas? What are things connected to? What are the red tapes that you might have to in your state, in your district, that you may have to cut through? So those are really things to consider and think about that initially you may not necessarily know that it will directly impact the work that you do and the potentials and the possibilities of you moving forward as a true leader. So I hope this was helpful, and I am here for a resource if you ever need it.
I'm Leland Ken, Executive Director of Great Oaks Wilmington, and I have 3 tips as a new school leader. Last year was my first year as the Executive Director of Great Oaks Wilmington, and one of the first things that I recognize is that schools need to prioritize building systems as to be able to carry out the goals and the objectives that they set out for themselves. And one of the areas that we focused on this year was customer service and knowing that education is a civil right, and understanding that we as educators are serving the students and their families. We are providing customer service. The second piece of that is being able to, as an executive team, be able to support your team and being able to listen to individual team members to make sure that they understand that they matter, that they are heard, and that we're able to support them to carry out their duties. So customer service and professionalism is a key. Going into next year, our main focus is implementing systems. Without systems, you have good intentions, but you may not have much success. But with systems in place, whether there are people who come and go for various reasons, and when you have systems in place, the school will still operate and function based on the systems that are in place.
Stay tuned for Mrs. Holly's final tips.
Your first year of teaching will be like no other year you will ever have again. It is full of ups and downs. It is definitely a roller coaster ride. Some days you'll want to scream for happiness. Some days you might want to scream for other reasons. But no matter the ups or downs, the rights or lefts, enjoy the moment of your first year of teaching. Enjoy your highs, learn from your lows, and continue to grow in your profession. Every passing year will get better as long as you continue to have the passion for the career. Teaching is not for the faint of heart. It does take passion, because it is that passion and dedication to the profession and to our students and to these young minds that will continue to push us through, especially after a year like this. So, with that in mind, continue to grow, become a strong, a wonderful teacher that students for years and years and years will love you for. And remember to speak it into the universe. You hold the truth to all of your teaching future. All right, family, Thank you so much for attending episode 1 of Ask an Educator. I'll see you next week. Bye.